Sup people of Tirzie, Quaggan Op here, just coming at you with a brand new video. And as a lot of you guys know, I'm currently crafting Zap, but it's the precursor for Bolt. Basically doing the legendary weapon collection. Bolt 1, the experimental sword, is the very first section of that, and I'm decided to document the whole journey, show you guys how to do the little different bits and pieces, being the collections, the crafting, what's involved. You can craft along with me if you want, or you can just wait and see who wins the precursor at the end, because I'm not going to keep it for myself. When it is crafted, I'm going to give it away, and I'll let you guys know how to win it in future videos. So just to kick things off, this is the second video of the series, and I'll actually going to be doing tier 1 of the collection, so that's Bolt 1, the experimental sword, and I'll be doing pretty much the first 11 pieces of the collection. There's 21 parts of the collection. For the first tier, I'm just going to do between 1 and 11 today. Most of that's going to be interacting with a few different NPCs and doing different events around Tirzie. So it's good to be on a character, or do this on a toon that has map completion, because you're bouncing all over the map doing all different things. So yeah, a level 80 that has map completion is usually the best way to go. So to kick it off, the very first part of the collection is called Heir's Advice, and it says finds Heir's notes on sculpting inside her home at Stonewright City in Hylek. So that's quite easy to find. We've all played the Living Story and things like that, so we all know who Heir Sculpting is. Just in Hylek, just offside from the Great Lodge, there's a little instance area being Stonewright City. This is Heir's home, so it's pretty easy. You just need to find your way in there, and there'll be a pile of scrolls in a bookcase. You just need to interact with that, and you'll get an achievement as part of a collection. And if you haven't played Heart of Thorns yet, Heir's sitting in the house. I think it's a ghost, I'm not too sure, but bit of a spoiler there. Okay, just moving on. The next part of the experiment of the experimental sword collection, is Malchor's notes. So the tooltip for this says, so Malchor's notes, find Malchor's ancient notes on sculpting the gods at the Cathedral of the Zephyrs. So this is the Temple of Duina in Malchor's Leaf, if you didn't quite know what the Temple of the Zephyrs is. If you look at the map, it does say Temple of the Zephyrs, but most people know it as the Temple of Duina. To do this and to receive the Malchor's notes, it's received from the chest at the end of the temple event, where you take back the temple for the pact. If it can be quite difficult to get if people are constantly defending the temple, you need to do the full temple invasion quest chain to receive Malchor's notes. So if people are constantly defending it, it's going to take some time for you guys to get this, but it's quite easy if it is contested. Just I think it's northeast of the temple, there's like a historian NPC that you can trigger the whole event with, and that's just a couple of escort events, a couple of fighting events. First you've got to escort the historian up into the temple and fight a few NPCs and things like that, and then you got to escort Malchor from the ocean, where he's pretty much killed himself, back to the temple, and then fight the statue of Duina at the end. From there, after you've completed that, the world chest appears as normal, and inside that chest, as long as you've got the experimental collection for Zap open, you will get that reward. So the third item in the collection is Trizie's perspective. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording. I accidentally interacted with the NPC before I had the record button pressed, and so I'm just going to show you where it is. So it's in Queensdale, just up in the mountains, near the waypoint, near where Shadow Behemoth spawns. If you go up there, there's a Sylvari with a pet dog. She's an artist, so you need to interact with her, and she will give you her perspective. That's pretty much it. Very straightforward. As I said, a lot of these will just be interacting directly with an NPC. They don't give you anything physical, so there's no physical trophies or stuff like that you do get, like Malchor's notes. It's just interacting with these different NPCs around the map. Just pretty much complete the achievement or the collection achievement there, and that's pretty much it. So, as I said, the next one is Pontius's tip. So this is number 4. Speak to Pontius, form shaper, in the Canton Factorium in the Black Citadel. So Canton Factorium is where you find all the crafting stations. There's an NPC there. All you need to do is talk to this char, and he will give you his tips. That's pretty much it. Okay, moving on to collection part number 5. This is Pixx's Insight. So, speak to the synergetics expert Pixx at Bruttersum about melding metal energy. So this is quite straightforward. Looks like we've got someone that's really excited to see somebody else here. But moving forward, just in the College of Synergetics, just on the left-hand side, there's a little opening there, and you'll find Pixx. Just have a little bit of a chin wag there, and he'll give you, or she will give you her insight. I think it's a she. Don't want to get scolded there. Okay, then, so number 6 is Kandyen's thoughts. So this one's quite straightforward. Speak to Kandien in the Grove about Sylvari artwork. So, for me, this is probably one of the easiest NPCs to find in the game. If you waypoint into the Grove, the main waypoint on the, I'd say the top floor, just next to the waypoint there's an NPC there, Kandien, and you can interact with them straight away, as you can see on the screen. Very, very straightforward, and he will give you his insight. So the next one is Hylek's artistic perspective. So this one's another one that could involve a event as such if the area is contested. I was lucky enough for the area not to be contested, so I could interact with the NPC straight away. But if the area is contested, I'm not 100% sure, but you may need to do the event first before you can interact with the NPC. So just moving south from the waypoint, you'll see 2 Hylek refugees. The one on the left is the one you need to interact with, and that refugee will give you their perspective on Hylek artwork. So the tooltip says find a refugee in the Zintal Holy Grounds in Sparklife. So that's pretty much it. Very straightforward. The next one is Quaggan Sculpture Teachings. So me being a Quaggan lover, as you know, this one's going to be quite fun for me. Well, not really, it's just finding an NPC. But yeah, up in Frostgorge Sound, it's quite easy. The tooltip says find the Quaggan who can tell you about the Quaggan sculpture at Orspruce in Frostgorge Sound. So if you didn't know, if you haven't done map completion before, there's a point of interest called Orspruce. It's a little house where some Quaggans live. So it's very, very easy to find. It's right next to a waypoint. So if just left of the waypoint, underneath the ice, you'll find this little house thing where the Quaggans are. There's only 3 Quaggans in there. Lucky for me, the third one I spoke to was the one that was right. But at the very back of the room to the right hand side is the Quaggan that you need to interact with, and he will give you some teachings on Quaggan sculpting, basically. Again, this is just an interaction. You do not get anything physical with this. Moving on, Sylvari plant sculpting techniques. Talk to Yinrage in Burned Hollow in Fireheart Rise about plant sculpting. Excuse my voice there, guys. It's early morning here and I'm halfway through drinking my coffee, and I think my throat kind of dried out a bit there. But moving on, this is another one where I wasn't recording when I interacted with the NPC. A little bit of a YouTube secret. make us look really cool, we try to find where everything is first and then re-record our way back there. But some people are stupid like me and actually interact with the NPCs, and yeah, I already had the achievement, so you guys didn't get to see it trigger. But that's pretty much easy. She's just at the back there. The next one is quite fun and interesting. It's Dierdre's perspective. So talk to Dierdre in the Hidden Garden jumping puzzle upon its completion. So if you guys don't know much about the jumping puzzles in Guild Wars 2, there's a particular jumping puzzle in Mount Maelstrom where you need to find a veteran creature or event where you need to fight a veteran creature and kill them, and when you do, a portal will open to a secret garden. That's a jumping puzzle as well. There's 4 different events that you could do. You don't need to do all of them, it's just one of the 4. We need to fight this veteran creature or creatures depending on which event it is. And they're located all over Mount Maelstrom in different places. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, so I won't quote them. But I think I'll just circle a couple of places here on the map to let you guys know where they are. It just depends on the different places, and you just need to bounce around the map a couple of times to find them. It's not too difficult. Most of the areas are reasonably close to waypoints. So you can see there's one there, that's the one I thought it was like a crab kind of thing. There's another one there that's kind of like a flesh reaver imp kind of thing that you need to fight. There's another one to the top left hand corner of the map. I think it's like Hounds of Balthazar or something like that. And then, or Rock Dogs, I'm not 100% sure. And the one at the bottom is kind of like I can't remember, I think it's like one of those floating squid things. But yeah, one thing, it does say in the tooltip, it tells you to complete the jumping puzzle. I was getting caught rambling on then. You don't actually need to complete the jumping puzzle, you just need to go see Dierdre. She's in the middle of the jumping puzzle, you just need to jump up there and talk to her. You don't need to go find the elements and so forth and go to the very, very top of the tree. So moving on from there, the very last one that I'll show you guys today is the intricately carved Orrian Relic. Sorry about that, my tongue got a little bit twisted there. Purchased from Explorer Leona and the Cursor after protecting her from the Risen King. So this is an event that gets triggered quite frequently. You need it if you want to get one of the hero points as well. Sometimes it's uncontested and she'll be in there and you can go talk to her. If not, all you need to do is hang around out the front of the tomb and you just need to interact with her. Escort her through the back. I think it's about 3 events that you need to do in total to get all the way to the end to open her up as a merchant. There's the first escort event to get her into the tomb, then you need to defeat a champion, and then you need to do another defense event as she's scrounging around inside the tomb looking for artifacts. After that, all you need to do is interact with her. For just under 3 silver, you can buy the intricately carved Orrian Relic. And that's it. So guys, thanks for watching. This is episode 2, part 1 of the Bolt 1 experimental sword. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Every like is really, really appreciated. And I'll catch you all in and around Tirzie. And don't forget to check out the future videos to see how you can win this precursor. Catch you later. Bye.